You are somewhere between 16 and 25 years old. You're not lazy, you're not stupid, you're not without talent. But if someone asked you right now, what is your purpose? What are you here for? What is the specific thing God put you on this earth to do? You would not have a clean answer. And that bothers you more than you let on, because everyone around you seems to have something figured out. Someone is building a business. Someone got into a great university. Someone already knows exactly what they want. And you are sitting there with this feeling that there is something inside you, something real, something significant, but you can't quite grab it yet. This video is for you. And by the end of it, you are going to understand not just what purpose is, but exactly how God reveals it and the specific steps you need to take right now to start walking in it. Number 1. Most young men are searching for their purpose in completely the wrong places. The world tells you that purpose is found in your passion. Follow what you love and the rest will work itself out. Sounds good. Does not work. Because at 17 or 19 or 22, most young men do not fully know what they love yet. Passions change. Interests shift. The thing that excited you at 16 might bore you completely at 21. If your entire purpose search is built on chasing a feeling, you will spend your entire 20s running in circles. Purpose is not found in your passion. Purpose is found in your design. And your design was decided before you were born. Jeremiah 1 verse 5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." God did not create you and then figure out what to do with you. He decided what he was going to do with you and then created you specifically for that assignment, which means your purpose already exists. It is not something you invent. It is something you discover. And the discovery process looks completely different from what most people are telling you. Number 2. Purpose is almost always hidden inside the problems you cannot stop caring about. Pay attention to this because it is one of the most practical keys in this entire video. Every young man has a category of problem that bothers him more than it bothers other people. Something that when he sees it, he cannot look away. Something that makes him angry or sad or fired up in a way that feels almost involuntary. For some men, it's young people with no guidance. For some, it's injustice. For some, it's people who are sick with no access to help. For some, it's young men who have no father figure. That disproportionate emotional response is not an accident. It's a signal. God designed you to care deeply about the problem he designed you to help solve. Ephesians 2 verse 10 says, "We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." The works were prepared in advance, which means the problems you were designed to address were already assigned to you before you were old enough to notice you cared about them. Start paying attention to what makes you angry, what breaks your heart, what you would fix if you had the power to fix it. That emotional signal is one of the clearest indicators of the direction your purpose lives in. Number 3. Your gifts are a map to your purpose, but most young men are reading the map wrong. Your natural gifts, the things you do with unusual ease, the things people come to you for without you advertising yourself, the things that feel effortless to you but look impressive to everyone watching, those are not accidents. They're architectural. God built specific capabilities into you that align directly with what he assigned you to do. Proverbs 18 verse 16 says, "A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men." Notice it doesn't say a man's hard work makes room for him, or a man's connections, or a man's hustle. His gift, the thing God placed inside him. The room opens because the gift is present. But here's where most young men misread the map. They look at their gifts and immediately try to monetize them rather than understand them. The question is not, how do I make money from this gift? The question is, what problem does this gift solve? Who does it serve? What does God want to do through it? When you answer those questions first, the money follows naturally. But when you lead with the money question, you almost always end up using a God-given gift for a man-made agenda and wondering why it feels empty even when it's successful. Number 4. God uses preparation seasons that feel like wasted time to build what purpose actually requires. This is the one that's going to hit the hardest because most young men in their late teens and early 20s feel like they are behind, like they should already know,
like the years are passing and they have nothing to show for the direction they're supposed to be going. And what God is actually doing in those seasons is building the internal capacity that the assignment requires. Think about Joseph. At 17, God gave him a dream about his future, but he wasn't walking in that purpose at 17. He spent years in slavery, years in prison, years that from the outside looked like everything going wrong. But every single one of those years was building something in Joseph that the palace would eventually require. The patience, the wisdom, the ability to interpret what others could not understand, the character to handle power without being corrupted by it. None of that could be downloaded. It had to be built, and it was built in the seasons that looked like nothing was happening. Genesis 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done. The preparation season is not punishment, it's construction. God is building in you what the purpose requires before He releases you into it. Number 5. Walking in purpose requires a daily decision, not a one-time revelation. This is the most practical point in this entire video, and the one most people miss completely. Young men wait for a burning bush moment, a dramatic sign, a voice from heaven that removes all doubt and tells them exactly what to do. And because that moment never comes the way they imagined it, they conclude that they don't have a purpose or that God hasn't spoken to them yet. But purpose is not primarily revealed in dramatic moments. It's confirmed through daily faithfulness. Luke 16, verse 10 says, "Whoever is faithful with very little will also be faithful with much." God does not reveal the fullness of your purpose until He has tested your faithfulness with a smaller version of it. Which means the question is not, what is my grand life purpose? The question is, what is right in front of me right now that God has given me to steward faithfully? The student who serves faithfully in the small opportunity eventually gets trusted with the larger one. The young man who disciplines himself in private eventually gets promoted publicly. Purpose is not handed to the most talented, it's handed to the most faithful, and faithfulness is a daily decision, not a personality trait. Number 6. The single most important thing you can do to find your purpose faster than any other method available to you is to get in the presence of God consistently. Everything else in this video, the problem you care about, the gifts you carry, the preparation season you're in, all of it becomes clearer when you're consistently spending time with the one who designed the whole blueprint. Psalm 32, verse 8 says, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." God is not hiding your purpose from you. He is waiting for you to come close enough to hear Him reveal it. The young man who prays consistently, who reads the Word consistently, who stays in a posture of genuine surrender consistently, that young man gets clarity faster than any vision board or self-help book or career test will ever provide. Not because those tools are wrong, but because none of them have access to the blueprint. Only the architect does, and the architect is available to you right now. Jeremiah 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." God already knows. He already planned it. He already designed you for it. He already prepared the path. The only question is whether you're going to trust Him enough to take the next step, even without seeing the full picture yet. And that's the word for you right now. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need a 10-year plan. You don't need to know the destination before you take the first step. What you need is to stop waiting for perfect clarity before you move and start moving faithfully with the clarity you already have. The purpose will come into focus as you walk. It almost never comes into focus while you're standing still waiting for it. God's blueprint for your life is already written. Your job is not to write it. Your job is to discover it. And you discover it by moving, by serving, by staying close to God, and by trusting that the one who designed you knows exactly where He is taking you. Drop "I am walking in purpose" in the comments right now if this video spoke to something in you today. Share this with a young man in your life who is trying to figure out what he's here for. He needs to hear this today. Subscribe to God's Blueprint, because every single week we are going to go deeper into exactly what God says about who you are and why you are here. God bless you, and remember, your purpose was written before you were born. It's time to discover it.